So we will get to a little bit more interesting news, Steve, regarding your availability to players and coaches over the last couple days. So what stood out to you, and who were you able to hear from?
Yes, on Monday we had a chance to talk with Coach Ryan Day, and he had an interview session for about 30 minutes and was pretty good. And I guess the biggest gist that came out of that was, yes, we have 92 players on scholarship, and we'll get down to 85. But I'm not. He basically, paraphrasing him, I'm not going to run the risk of going into the season with less than 85. So it's going to sort itself out over the next 6 or 7 months, whatever. So that was kind of a revelation that he is knowingly, willingly got 7 people in the fold now who won't be in the fold on August the 1st. But that's, the way it is in 2022 when you deny the eligibility for the super seniors. We got a chance to talk to the 4 new assistant coaches. Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator, very impressed with him. Tim Walton, the new cornerbacks coach. Perry Eliano, the new safeties coach. And Justin Fry, the offensive line coach. All of them outstanding and sharing their kind of vision of where things are going. And then yesterday, we got a chance to sit down. I think it was 12 or 13 different players. I think it was maybe 11 or 12 of the incoming freshmen plus 2 of the transfers who are already there. DeMonte, his nickname, I guess, is Chip Trayanum. This team leads the world in kids' names that are hard to pronounce with E.A. Nateote and any other number of other guys. But him, as well as the Oklahoma State transfer, Tanner McAllister. And McAllister sounds like he's going to be the quarterback of the defense for Jim Knowles. Said that he could have had the chance to go to the NFL, but decided to come back to college for one more year. It said he wanted to play at the highest level. He said Oklahoma State, we were in the running this past year for the championship, and it just didn't work out. Lost the championship game in the Big 12 to Baylor. Otherwise, they may have been in the playoff. But beyond that, I thought Devin Brown, the quarterback, he was very impressive. Talking to him, he had committed when Quinn Ewers was still in the fold at Ohio State. He was actually in the same class as Quinn Ewers, and they had competed against each other in the Elite 11. And, of course, Ewers reclassified up a year, spent the fall at Ohio State, and then transferred out. Said that he wasn't concerned about competing with Ewers or anybody. So he's coming in and going to compete with Kyle McCord for the backup spot behind C.J. Stroud this coming year. And then you figure it'll be he and McCord battling next spring to become the new starter. So those were a lot of my uptake on it. I know these guys saw a lot of the same interviews that I did. Just a great day to kind of get some questions answered, I guess, a couple of days, and kind of get a really turn the page toward 2022 in terms of recruiting. The freshmen that are coming in, it's become a tradition the last 5 or 6 years to have the early enrollees show up on National Signing Day and answer questions after they've had their morning workout. They come in and spend some time with the media. So it was really a good day overall.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest takeaways I have is let's not forget the coaches were all on the road recruiting until the dead period started leading into signing day. So on Monday, when the opportunity was there to speak with the coaches, that was their first full day all back together in the Woody. So a lot of people want to know, all right, well, where are all these decisions about how you're fixing this defense? You know, we want specifics. We want to know what your plans are, structural X's and O's, we want all of that. And it's like, wait, this is our first day back here. So, they've had an opportunity to really go over every player on the team, kind of, take inventory of what's going on there. Apparently 92 of them, even though, 92 is the count once the summer enrollees get to Ohio State. They're not over 85 technically at the moment, but they're 92 guys that are committed to the team. But there was not. They have not come to a point of saying, well, this is what we're going to do specifically. I mean, coming out of the stuff with Tanner McAllister, you kind of know what his role is going to be. He said that, who he's kind of been working with. So some things are you're starting to get an idea of some things, but, there's not been any great meeting at this point. It's like, this is definitely what we're going to be. This is what we're departing from 2021 into 2022. This is what Jim Knowles, what Perry Eliano, what Tim Walton are going to bring on the defensive side specifically. I mean, that's all going to be a work in progress.
For me, one of the ideal times to be a fly on the wall in all of these meetings would be this week, when the assistant coaches are asking the existing guys, the new coaches are asking the existing coaches, all right, let's go through all of these players. And that's when you get the real lowdown on what the existing coaches think of all of these players. And Jim Knowles is getting the rundown on all of the guys on defense right now. And it's funny, where do you see this guy? Where do you see this guy? And Knowles is like, we'll see. I'm just learning about these guys now, taking notes. He talked about, literally taking notes during a meeting about this guy and that guy and this guy. So I think it would be fascinating to hear those conversations that are completely unfiltered and certainly not for media ears. I'm with Kevin and Steve on the 92. This is not Ohio State's not going to be alone in this. This is a situation brought on by essentially the NCAA for keeping everybody, for allowing something and then taking it away, and then trying to figure out how do you now rectify this year, next year, the year after, and possibly the year after that. And it's going to lead to a bunch of people in the portal in May and June with nowhere to go, because so many rosters are full because they had to cut 6, 7, 8, 9 people. And so they've replaced all of these fifth year, or whoever these cuts are going to be. They're not just going to be fifth year. They're going to be some third year, some fourth year guys. And they're going to be replaced by freshmen and other transfer portal guys. And there's just going to be this large pool of players that have nowhere to go because the rosters are full. And if you want to, it's going to come to the point where if some team like Ohio State wants to bring somebody in from the portal, somebody has to go into the portal. And it becomes just really, really, I don't want to say cold-blooded, but, room temperature blooded type of situation involving players and teams. And you'll have some fans who are like, good, these players get paid now. They should be treated like professionals. And the thing is, like, they don't all get paid. And even the ones who get paid good money aren't actually paid like professionals necessarily. So it's a brave new world for a bunch of people. And there's going to be some Buckeyes on this team right now and it happens every spring, regardless of whether they need to get to 85 or they're already at 85 right now. The worst thing for Ohio State would be to be at 85 right now and lose 7 guys after spring ball. And that's what Ryan Day is trying to avoid.
I just wanted to jump in there, too, to kind of bring this back to National Signing Day. The advent of the portal and everything with where it is now in terms of its popularity and numbers, we're going to see a lot of guys who would have been 1A guys on full scholarship, maybe at some smaller schools, who are going to be going the preferred walk-on route because you've got to hold scholarships now to make sure you have room for portal guys. And you've got to hold on to guys longer to make sure you don't fall under 85 way too early in the situation. So, the NC2A really let a really bad genie out of the bottle here. There did need to be transfer reform, absolutely. But, I mean, this is going to be something that's not only going to be a case of guys who are sitting out there with no team to play for in terms of out of the portal. I think you're going to see a lot of young men who are coming out of high school who are not going to get that opportunity right out of the gate to be able to go to a program because of where these numbers are going to be and just how the caponomics are going to work.
Well, you've got like places like Texas, I think Texas State last year, recruiting only out of the portal and like signing no high school kids. And that's going to eliminate some high school players from playing division, FBS and things like that. And more schools are saving spots, which leaves fewer opportunities for the high school players who then have to play at lower levels. And, the cream will rise to the top. But it's one of these situations that It's still spinning. You don't know exactly where everything is going to stop or when it's going to stop, or at least slow down.